packed into a 115-pound frame.
This is going to be one hell of a fight.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, from Puerto Peñasco in Mexico, here is the two-division world champion, Juan Francisco El Gallo Estrada. Fighting out of the blue corner, from San Antonio, Texas, introducing the two-division champion of the world, Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
And this one has all of those big fight feels you want from a prize fight. Here we go.
Todd, as a young man, this is the Mecca. This is the place you want to be. This is it.
Under the bright lights here for this one. Really good matchup, and we're hoping for a really good fight. These two fighters promised us an offensive show. Let's see if they deliver. Timing beats speed. Speed beats power. They have no respect for each other's punching power. Swing and a miss with the left uppercut. One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
You have certain fighters that are born for this, that are made for the big crowd. And looking at that corner right there, that is that fighter right there. They have elevated, lifted, it's like they're not touching the ground. This is what they were born for.
Nice counter shot. The bravery being shown here is just incredible. Missing with the hook. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counterpuncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Reaction is second to none. It's the blink of an eye, and they're waiting for any little twitch you do. So you've got to fight a counterpuncher smart.
For those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
A swing and a miss with the left hook. The right hook misses. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. A nice job blocking the right jab. That punch is beginning to take its toll. He misses with that straight left. The scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Well, this is the time that the trainer needs to come in and say something special. This fighter needs to turn the tables in this next round.
Every second, every minute of this fight is important. Every second, every minute of this round is important. You cannot afford to lose it.
And win the round. You were thinking, you were smart. You weren't loading up, but you were still letting your power.
You've got to go out there and win this round. You had everything in the bag.
What do we expect to see here in round two? Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
fighter is a swarmer. They're like a mosquito that just won't leave you alone, except this mosquito can knock you out with one punch.
You got a swarm on your case, you know you've got to fight. You've got to hold them, you've got to tie them up. You've got to lean on them when they come in until the referee makes you break up. But keep your hands high, because they will keep punching until that referee said stop.
They miss with the jab. They better start respecting each other's punching power. They both want a knockout, you can tell. Fight a little bit closer than I think a lot of people thought.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
Caution being thrown to the wind. Both men step back for just a moment. Back and forth they go. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. From this moment forward, he cannot afford to lose another round.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what, next.
Be smart when you go.
There's the bell to start round 3. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to flop you off.
That jab misses. Throws the jab but does not score. Well, Johnny, we're in the early stages here. What have you seen so far?
This could be really intimidating, Todd. If you know somebody's got the punch power, someone's got the speed, it can be intimidating. It just depends on how confident you are as a fighter.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Nice punch. Catch and shoot. Well, Johnny, as you know, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being too aggressive.
I've seen some aggressive fighters. They can terrorize the life out of you before they've even thrown a shot. The strength they have, the speed they have, and that knockout punch, they want to punch through you. They don't want to punch you. They want to punch straight through you. So you've got to be careful.
A very competitive round here so far.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
How about that time counter shot? Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Good punch. Lucky that hook didn't score. Caution is being thrown to the wind. Good counter punching. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. You know that bell was sweet music to his ears.
The bell, sometimes it can be the sweetest sound.
Don't worry about that round. Don't worry about that round. Let's go.
Here we go to the fourth round. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you, and that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
There's no doubt that this fighter's power can change the fight around in an instant. You can't afford to make one single minor mistake.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
You'd like to see more jabs. Misses with the jab. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You've just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
Gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I gotta respect both of them. More than happy.
And just as quickly as it slows down, it heats back up. Solid punch. A swing and a miss with that jab. Can't land that jab. Beautiful counter punch. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. That seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
You know what, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Going round, I like it. I'm happy. Good man.
Anything. Go back and win the round, right? It's only one
Much. Keep doing what you're doing. But get.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
You hear people talk about a boxer's chin. Do they have a good chin? Do they have a glass jaw? Those are questions that are being answered here tonight.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You could hit them with a sledgehammer, they are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers with a chin like a crisp. As soon as you touch them, they're gone. And this is the danger spot.
Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Both men step back for just a moment. So much firepower here. Talk about punches and bunches. That's the mantra for this fighter with that exceptional hand speed.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Defense is not an option for these two. Just when you think they're going to have a lull in the action, we get it heated back up. You've seen all the famous boxing movies, the training scenes, the gym work. That's what it all boils down to. Who's going to have more endurance?
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Straight right just misses. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. What would you tell this guy if he's got to do something different?
Wow, it's like two different leagues.
Confidence away. Go out in the first minute, stick him on the end of a jab, and then start covering your face.
On to the sixth round. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now this is about desire. This is about character. This is about want.
There's a counter shot. And he scores with the counter. When are we going to see a jab from these two? Looks like a little bit of a strategy change here, loosening up the technique. Got to let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
You don't want to trade shots. It's all offense all the time. Punch, counter punch. When you've got someone with the hand speed that this fighter possesses, how do you deal with it?
Some fighters are just gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Nice counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute...
Come on, let him back in.
Here we go. It's round 7. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
He threw a punch and just got countered. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
Threw the left uppercut, but it misses. Beautiful counter shot. A hook scores. You'd like to see more jabs. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
I've seen some aggressive fighters like this, and they are a nightmare. If you are not fit, that is the worst place to be, having second thoughts in the ring.
Nice exchanges from both men in this round.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Both men step back for just a moment. When you're a power puncher, you're not as concerned with how many punches you throw. It's about how many you land and how hard they are.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. It's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
You can't leave it up to the judges. It's up to you as the fighter, and the cornerman's got...
That's it. Now breathe.
Round 8, and we're off again. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Can't find a home for that jab. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. This fighter has determined that they can walk through any punches that their opponent throws, and that's a very confident spot to be in.
Don't get trigger happy, because all of a sudden you're going to be gassing yourself out trying to get that shot, and that's when they catch you.
Every time they drop their guard, they get caught. That punch landed. Misses with the straight left. They both want the knockout. Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them. More than happy.
Don't let this fighter's speed fool you. There's some method to the madness. These are precision shots, and they're coming at lightning speed.
So you're getting in there with someone that's so fast, you're prepared to take a licking, because you've got to get some before you get in close.
That punch lands. When are we going to see a jab from these two? They blocked the left there. You'd like to see more jabs. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Switch on. Get this boxing back together.
Great round though.
And we enter the ninth. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Energy and endurance are not an issue for this fighter who continues to be aggressive as the rounds wear on.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fire. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. They are giving us a high-tempo show. When are we going to see a jab from these two? We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
Sometimes when you get in there with someone that's so powerful, you've got to think them. You've just got to be smarter than them. You've got to be like a little Fagin and pickpocket them.
Pretty close fight here in this round.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Do you believe this? In the early rounds of a fight, you'll see two boxers feel each other out, test each other's power, and I think this boxer has decided I can walk through anything that lands.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Through the straight left, but it won't score. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Pretty dominant round there. Let's see how they respond here in the next round.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
Nice round, good round. I like it. I'm happy.
And here comes the 10th round. This fight has been very one-sided. What are we going to have in this round?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Well, Johnny, has anything surprised you here as we enter the final frames of this bout?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they want. Because they want to get you there. They want you to stand there toe-to-toe with them and have a tell. That's what they do in the gym every single day of the week. What you've got to do is you've got to frustrate them as they set their shots. Get out of the way. And they'll get so angry, so frustrated because they can't work.
And he misses with that straight left. Gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Power is obviously the great equalizer in boxing, but when you know your opponent is relying on that so heavily, how do you deal with it?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain, though.
This has been a very competitive round between these two.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. It's like a match made in heaven.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. You'd like to see more jabs. As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
What a gift. What a gift it is to have a chin where you know you can walk through anything and everything. When you let those shots go and it's just bouncing off and they're walking you down, it's so demoralizing. It absolutely breaks your heart. What else can you do?
Well done with that counter shot. They're both trying for a knockout. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come
Let him get back into this. You're better than this.
Here we go in the championship rounds, round 11. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Misses with the straight left. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It could all come down to who's in better shape.
What can they change? Can they slow the pace down? Can they hope to knock them out early? What can they do? They've got to concentrate and relax. because you know what you can do in the gym, you can do it in a fight. You've got to relax.
Both men step back for just a moment. Nice counter punch right up the middle. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them. More than happy.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? How nervous would you get when you know you're facing a big puncher like this that can seriously hurt you?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you hit and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Nice job blocking the hook. Let's watch this again. He set it up perfectly and knocked him down.
Shot from the gods.
1, 2, 3, 4. Give me your break.
So they'll make it up, and this fight continues.
Todd, he's up. I'll be surprised if he makes it back.
Not the best of rounds with 10 seconds to go. The corner hasn't thrown in the towel yet, so I guess he's coming out for another round.
Unbelievable heart. Knocked down twice.
It's not over yet. You've got to go out there.
Great work. I love it. I love it. That jab slick.
Who thought we would have made it to 12? They've got to be feeling confident now after what happened last round.
2 knockdowns and you're coming back from that. That's near on impossible because your head must be all over the place. Your legs are feeling like jelly. What can they tell you in the corner? All they can do is wake you up. They can't even go into game plan.
Neither fighter willing to slow down. He missed with that jab. How much confidence do you build when your opponents hit you with their best shot and you walk right through it?
This is when you get in the ring feeling like you're King Kong because you know you've got a chin that is not going to get dented.
Which fighter will say no mas? That punch scores. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
If you're in with a powerful puncher, you know you've got to use your brain, use smarts over it, because that powerful puncher knows he can depend on that power alone and neglect the technical side. You've got to be smart, frustrate them, use their own power against themselves.
Can they figure out the combination to this safe?
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Miss with that jab. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Holding nothing back here in the round. That jab doesn't find a home. Good defense there to stop that hook. Bam is hurt. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Some might have thought the fight a little bit closer, but the judges are in agreement. A unanimous decision win.
Unanimous. You know what? Smart that is. A total change of styles to make sure they got it. At every round in the bag, there was no argument, no discussion, no